Hey guys, going to show you how to fit our new MX lens protector. So this lens protector is slightly different than our Enduro lens protector. It's only got 2 layers, so instead of saying up, it says down, because you're only going to peel off the backside to reveal the glue. The fitting is exactly the same virtually as the Enduro lens protector. Obviously you're not going to remove the top protection coat. Why do we do 2 lens protectors? Because of the self-healing properties of our Enduro lens protector. Tear-offs and roll-offs do not really work with that system, so we've developed another one, and this is mainly for the MX riders. People use tear-offs and roll-offs more often than what the Enduro trail riders generally do. So we'll get straight into it. So the kit's exactly the same. You get an instruction manual which has got a QR code which will take you to this video. It's got a lens protector, alcohol wipe and a squeegee card. So we're going to quickly stick it onto this is 100% lens with tear off pins. So we set a nice clean area. You need a sink. Try and get the sides wiped down, get rid of any dust, anything like that. Take the alcohol wipe out from the packet. Now I've already took the protection off the outside of the lens, but obviously I've left the anti-fog protection on the back. So I'm just going to give it a quick wipe over with the alcohol wipe, try and get everywhere, and try and hold on to the back of the lens rather than getting your greasy fingers onto the front. It's not half a bad shout to have just wipe your fingers down with the rag. If there is quite a bit of room for manoeuvre on the lens protectors, but if you just have a quick look dry before you start peeling the back off, it'll give you a good idea of where you need to stick it on. Doing this on the curved type lenses like the air brakes and the EKS is also a big benefit, so you know exactly where it fits on the lens, because you only get to stick it on once. If you peel it off after it's stuck, you'll damage the glue and the product will be rendered useless. So we turn the tap on and we just wipe off the alcohol. Just give it good, and then just leave it in the sink running under the tap, and what that'll do is stop any dust particles landing on it. Take your lens protector, make sure you've got the down facing you so you can read down, and you're going to just rinse it under the tap. This is going to get rid of any dust particles, get any static off the lens protector. Just turn that down a tad. And then this is the important part, so I've sort of curved it in my hand, and I'm just going to get hold of the backing, and I'm going to peel the backing off while it's running under the tap. What this does is when you peel the back off a sticker, it gets static. Running it under the tap as you peel it off stops anything landing on it, stops the static forming. Just knock the tap off, apply it straight onto there. It really doesn't matter how much water's underneath, the more water the better really. And then we can pick it up. Just going to touch it in the middle there, that's made a solid point. Get rid of the excess and then put it on a hard surface. Sometimes if you're doing it on a curved lens like this, it's easier to do it in the goggle frame so the lens isn't flexing. Obviously your goggles are going to get wet, but they need 24 hours to dry anyway. So we've got this on the side now. You can see underneath there's loads of water, and then we're just going to squeegee that out. I'm going to start from the middle, go to the side, same with that side. I'm holding the squeegee right down at the end, pressing down as hard as I can, lots of pressure. You're going to do 1 centimetre at a time, and then just keep going back and forth, back and forth. It's important just to take your time, hard short movements, and go back over, and you can just see how it leaves an edge where you're squeegeeing. It's important to try and get it first time with no any bubbles, as it can be a bit difficult to get them out, but we'll go through that in a second. So there you go. So that's done. It'll be perfectly clear in 24 hours. There's no bubbles or anything to remove out of this. And unlike the Enduro Protector, there's no top film to take off. That's complete and ready to use with all your roll-offs and your tear-offs. We're producing one lens protector for the goggles. If you've got a set that's built up like this, and it'll have a mud strip on the top and the canister's already on, the lens protector you'll receive is built for a naked lens, so with nothing on. So that there is just too big to fit in there. So we'll look at a dry fit, and then we just get some scissors and just chop the end off, and then that fits there. This is just so it's easier for the website, so we don't have massive confusion of which lens protectors to be buying for your goggles. There you go, that's the MX protection fit. I'm just going to show you a quick example of what to do if you get some air bubbles under the lens, or if it doesn't go so smoothly. So I've cleaned this lens that's in the sink already with the alcohol wipe and just put it under to run to keep the dust off. I've got my lens protector here in my hand. This is for an EKS set of goggles. They've got the ridges in the line, so it's two little separate protectors. Again, just run it under the tap. Just going to lift this and bring it onto this side here. And I'm just going to make a bad job of sticking that down. I'm just going to run my finger over it just in case. So I'm going to get the squeegee back, and as you can see, let's go over that. There's a load of bubbles in here, a load of bubbles in there. So with as much pressure as you can, just work the bubbles out to the side and run over. And what you might find is you might end up with small bubbles. It's obviously hard to see because the clarity is really good on the protector and the lens. But if you was to leave the lens for say an hour and you can see the bubble as the glue started to dry, as much force as you can use the corner of the squeegee. Just keep forcing it out, even if it doesn't get to the edge of the film, but you're flattening the moisture out and spreading it around under the film. The mark should go after 24 hours, at worst case 36 hours if you've made a really bad job of it. But it doesn't matter if you can't get the bubble to the side, just spread it out under the lens protector. It might go a milky white colour, but just keep going at it. You might have to keep going back to it a couple of times, but it should eventually go.